Sometimes Liam is waiting on me and it's the funniest thing. Yep, he's just munching on some hay like, hey woman, you got milk for me or what? Look at him. Excuse me, feed me. Your mom is an influencer, okay? So we have to do it this way. It might not be perfect. It might be a little slanted. I'm sorry about that if that really bothers you. But hey, hello, welcome back. So I wanted to feed Liam. Obviously, I have to do that every morning. So I wanted to just go ahead and set up my camera because I wanted to do a few questions that I want to answer about the last video, and then we're gonna get into like a chicken starter kit from a regular person. I'm not a chicken professional yet by no means. Just from personal experience of having them, the few things that we learned in the beginning, I thought would be crucial because it's things that like you just don't realize until you actually have them. So on the last video, thank you so much for the positive feedback. I was so nervous because I understand it's hard when I have to sell anybody, but like especially Rocco, who's been such a big part of my farm, and a lot of people have fallen in love with him. And that's why I was so glad it worked out that my friends at D20 Ranch are able to get him, because then you guys get to keep up with him, I get to keep up with him, I know he's going to a great place, etc. But I tried to be pretty active in those comment sections of people asking questions, so I'm just going to reiterate some of the big ones and then a few that I might not have gotten to. So Leo is for sure staying. We're probably going to castrate him once he gets a couple months older, and then he's out with the girls, and he's just going to be another pet. You're already done with this bottle. Holy shit balls. The next thing is that everyone was like, so you're not going to breed at all? You're not going to breed at all? Listen, we're going to have, the big girls are going to have their last babies this year, and then they're just going to be cows, pet cows fully, okay? This has always been my goal, but once I have my house, there's probably going to be things that I get into. I would love to breed something as a breeder. More of a novelty. I support the beef industries. I support agriculture. Sometimes people don't like that, but that's just me. I'm not a vegan or vegetarian. We just don't use our own cows. I will say that it is harder for me sometimes to sell the babies because I don't know 100% where they're going to go. And so just because I get attached. And so I would love to have a small operation of maybe a novelty, like a mini cow or a Highland situation. And then, ow, that was my knee. And then be able to just, you know, sell a few calves, have nothing crazy, no big operation, but still get to have that. And then know that they're just being sold for pets, for just my little heart, because I'm just very easily attached. So yeah, that's that update. Let's go to the chickens and talk about them for a little bit so that y'all can get a video about chickens and how to rear them properly. That my chickens know I bring them snacks. Hi girls, I'm coming in. Move your feetsies. Hello, good morning. How's everybody doing? I know you're really excited about mealworms, but I'm gonna hang your cabbage head first. So one of the things we had to learn the hard way, unfortunately, is that chickens get super bored easily. It can a big factor that can be space. Don't go by, if you buy a chicken coop, don't go by what they say. Because this coop, without the extension we added, was supposed to be a 20 bird coop. And I just do not believe that. We have 9. And they were getting bored and they were pecking each other because they do actually have like a pecking order. It seems kind of crazy that their little bird brains just go, oh yeah, I don't have enough space, so I'm just gonna beat the shit out of my friends. The weakest is gonna get their shit rocked. So things that I found that helped that was we added the extension, and I think that was a really big benefit. And then I also added activities for them to peck, because obviously they destroy a pen because they're kind of gross, so they don't have grass to graze. Because we didn't do free range just because we have dogs, there's other critters that come up here, and I didn't want to put these guys at danger. But cabbage heads, I hang them, and these girls love it. And it gives them that pecking sensation. I also buy these like high energy suets, and I have those hanging around. And then we do a lot of different like snacks, because over here, if you can see it, they have feed that's good for chickens. Look at them. You guys know what's in here? Yeah, it's that mealworms. It's that good. Oh, sorry, hold on. I shut your door a little bit. Hey, the bag does not have mealworms. I mean, it does, but you can't. I know, girly pops. Mealworms are something that my girls really like. They also are a good protein, and protein helps make more eggs. My girls, oh, sorry. not meaning to scare you. I like to try to scatter them so that way then they can like dig for them. Give them that same in the wild sensation. Hi. There you go. That's the last of that bag. But yeah, definitely keeping them activities so that they do not get bored is a big thing. Making sure they have enough space. And then I think my girls produce a lot of eggs. You guys just scared yourselves. I think my girls produce a lot of eggs because we give them a lot of treats. They're a little spoiled, and that's okay. You know, hey, who's freaking out and why? And out. Who's stressing everybody out? It only takes one. It only takes one, Ez. It only takes one. For the little chicken starter kit of like medical stuff that we have accumulated, because like I said, we did not know that chickens would just peck at each other if they were bored. This is like an example of those high energy suets I'm talking about. And then I have little little suet cake like holders. They really like these. I actually need to put this one out there and get some more. But basically, like I said, we started with 12 chickens, and then we actually had a couple that ended up getting pecked at a lot because they just kept picking like the weakest link. And so luckily with adding extra space and giving them activities, we haven't had any other issues. But we found it really difficult to like introduce them back because we kept them separate so they didn't get pecked at so they could heal. But we had a really hard time like reintroducing them. And luckily my dad's employee had wanted to start getting into chickens. So we actually gave him the chickens that had gotten pecked at as like a separate little flock for him, just to make it easier. And like 9 eggs a day is plenty for us, so it's not a big deal. But when they got pecked, what I did is I sprayed this poultry kale healing skin repair stuff, and then also this blue coat. Basically this just turns them blue and it keeps them from wanting to peck at it as much, I guess, because they don't like the color blue, because there's something in their brains that once they peck the feathers and there's red and they see blood, they like want to attack until it is, which is really sad but like weird. So these are 2 essentials. Everyone was telling me about that. And then we also got some other stuff that we never ended up actually using because those worked really well. So we didn't have any issues. There was this like hen healer blue formula to detect pecking, but we just ended up using the spray. And then this Pick No More cover lotion. It still has the seal on it. We were just kind of buying everything because we wanted to make sure our chickies were good. And then, like I said, snacks my chickens love. They love the cabbage. They love mealworms. They love watermelon. They love zucchini. We give them a lot of scraps from the garden, which has been great because in the past, we have just felt like sometimes we waste our garden because there's so much produce that we cannot all, like possibly eat ourselves. And even like canning, there's just not always options. So that has been awesome because if you've ever planted zucchini, you know those bitches grow all the time. But then my girl Ezzy ran into a little bit of pink eye issue. And that's the things with chickens is like, they just like, it's like one of those things that you just don't take to the vet very often. It's a lot of self-treatment. I'm sure my vet would have taken care of it, but a lot of it is just like doing your own research. So this was a big one. Luckily, because I worked at vet offices, I knew about this. So like I said, Esmeralda got pink eye and I was like, oh no. So I did a little Google vet work and I knew about this, and I luckily knew that my one farm store sold it. But I took saline wound wash and I cleaned out her eye twice a day and patted it with a little paper towel. And then this is Terramycin ophthalmic gel, and this shit is like gold. My vet sells it because you can sell it in these tiny vials, like without a prescription, and it is so good. I think you can use it on a couple different species, but don't quote me. It did work very well for Miss Ezzy, and her eye is beautiful, clean, perfect. But yeah, I literally just brought her in here and I would put her in the sink. I would, you know, spray her eye, get it all cleaned out, and then I would put this in there a couple times a day and it cleared up beautifully. So that's kind of that situation. We have not introduced any more chickens. I don't know if we will add to our chickens here. When I build my house up on the hill and everything, I definitely will probably get my own chickens. But yeah, it's just crazy because like they're not aggressive. I will say my brother's rooster wants the smoke for some reason. He's tried to square up with me a couple times and I don't understand what I did to him. But I think it's roosters that are more aggressive. And then my chickens have been very socialized, so I think that's a big thing of just making sure. It's just like anything. That's why my cows are friendly. You just got to socialize animals, you know, from a young age. But yeah, if you have any other specific questions, I would love to answer. Oh, another thing people have suggested was to put sand in their pen, like in their coop, because chickens are just dirty and they just like to constantly peck and dig. So sand is one of those things because it's low odor. It's kind of like a big sand, like a big kitty litter box. So I think we're gonna switch to that because originally we tried to keep grass because they do like to like graze kind of and peck, but they destroyed all that. Then it rained a bunch, then it was like muddy and it's just been chaos. So I think we're gonna get some sand to put in there. A couple people suggested that on Instagram and that is so smart. I think my brother switched to sand too, but that's what we're gonna do. Like I said, everybody can do your own thing. I will say, if you do want to do free range, they do have like a very good like sense of like, this is my coop, this is where we go in, because we shut them up at night just to make sure that no predators could get them, because then they're safe inside the coop, because they literally roost and sleep all night. So they usually are all in the coop by like 9, so we shut the door, and then my dad, when he wakes up at 5:30ish, opens the door if they want to go ahead and come out. But yeah, it's, if you wanted to do free range, you definitely could. I think you just need to establish like, this is your coop, because they definitely do have that mentality of like, okay, this is where we live, this is our space, this is where we go at nighttime. But free range just scares me because I've seen too many people have their chickens get hit, and then like I said, our dogs would definitely attack. Like, love my huskies to death, they would murder chickens. And then we've had issues with like with vultures, and we have other like big prey birds around here that get really close to the farm, and like, just, it worries me. So I like having my girls contained, but I won't judge anybody. But if you have any other quick chicken questions, let me know. I would love to help. I'm not, like I said, by no means are we experts. We're still learning ourselves, but the first couple months we were like, what the hell, like researching and everything. So that's all I have for this video though. Little chickens, little update, little Liam. But I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your week, and check out heiferpleaseco.com if you want. The plushies are still on sale, and I actually am gonna have a shirt sale as well. And you can check my other socials down below, but other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.